Roseanne Barr's rise to fame was nothing short of extraordinary. From stand-up comedy stages to becoming the queen of primetime television with Roseanne, she built a career that made her a household name. But behind the laughter and success, her journey was filled with personal struggles, controversies, and shocking revelations. From her tumultuous marriages to career highs and lows, and even a misdiagnosis that nearly changed her life, Barr has remained one of the most talked about figures in Hollywood. So what really happened to Roseanne Barr? Stay tuned as we uncover the real story behind her life, career, and the challenges she faced along the way. Roseanne Barr was born on November 3rd, 1952, in Salt Lake City, Utah, as the eldest of 4 children in a working-class Jewish family. Her mother, Helen, née Davis, worked as a bookkeeper and cashier, while her father, Jerome Herschel, Jerry Barr, made a living as a salesman. Her paternal grandfather, originally named Borisovsky, changed the family surname to Barr upon immigrating to the United States from the Russian Empire. On her mother's side, her grandparents were Jewish immigrants from Austria, Hungary, and Lithuania. The shadow of history loomed over her family, as some of her great-grandparents were tragically murdered during the Holocaust. Despite her Jewish heritage, Barr's religious upbringing was far from conventional. Her devoutly Orthodox Jewish maternal grandmother played a significant role in shaping her early religious identity. However, her parents made a conscious decision to keep their Jewish background hidden from their neighbors. Instead, they became loosely involved with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, leading to a complex spiritual upbringing that straddled 2 faiths. Barr later described this unique dynamic by saying, "Well, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday morning I was a Jew. Sunday afternoon, Tuesday afternoon, and Wednesday afternoon, we were Mormons." This dual religious exposure created a sense of cultural fluidity in her early years, but it also planted the seeds of the comedic and rebellious perspective that would later define her career. At just 3 years old, Barr suffered from Bell's palsy, a condition that temporarily paralyzed the left side of her face. Desperate for a cure, her mother first sought the help of a rabbi, but when his prayers proved ineffective, she turned to a Mormon preacher. Miraculously, Barr's paralysis faded after the preacher's blessing, an event that she would later reflect on with skepticism. She eventually learned that Bell's palsy often resolves on its own, and she recognized that the preacher's intervention had likely been a well-timed coincidence rather than divine intervention. Throughout her childhood, Barr exhibited traits that would later lead her to believe she was on the autism spectrum, though she was not formally diagnosed at the time. She showed a natural ability for public speaking from a young age, and by 6, she had already discovered her first stage, LDS churches throughout Utah, where she delivered talks that captivated audiences. Her charisma and confidence made her a standout, and she was even elected president of a Mormon youth group, an ironic position considering her Jewish roots. She attended East High School in Salt Lake City, but her teenage years took a drastic and tragic turn at the age of 16. While walking outside, she was struck by a car, and the impact was so severe that the hood ornament of the vehicle impaled her skull. The traumatic brain injury that followed drastically altered her personality, leading to erratic behavior that her family struggled to understand. As a result, she was institutionalized for 8 months at Utah State Hospital, an experience that profoundly shaped her views on mental health, authority, and the unpredictability of life. By 1970, at just 18 years old, Barr made the life-changing decision to leave home. While living in Colorado, Barr began performing stand-up comedy at local clubs in Denver and other nearby towns. Her bold, no-nonsense delivery and sharp wit quickly caught the attention of audiences, and she soon set her sights on Los Angeles. After auditioning at the Comedy Store, a venue known for launching the careers of many comedic greats, she gradually made a name for herself in the stand-up scene. Her big break came in 1985 when she landed a spot on The Tonight Show, introducing her distinct comedic style to a national audience. By 1986, Barr's momentum continued to build. She appeared in a special hosted by Rodney Dangerfield and performed on Late Night with David Letterman, further solidifying her reputation as a rising star in comedy. The following year, she took center stage in her own HBO comedy special, The Roseanne Barr Show, which earned her an American Comedy Award for Funniest Female Performer in a Television Special. Her humor, which revolved around working-class struggles, family life, and her signature domestic goddess persona, resonated with audiences who were drawn to her relatable, unapologetic style. At one point, Barr was offered the role of Peg Bundy in Married with Children, a sitcom that would go on to become a long-running hit. However, she declined the part, choosing instead to focus on her own brand of comedy. She continued refining her stand-up routine, popularizing the term domestic goddess as a tongue-in-cheek way to describe homemakers and housewives. Her rising popularity eventually led to a career-defining opportunity, a television show built entirely around her. ABC recognized her potential and gave her the lead role in Roseanne, a sitcom that would make her one of the most influential figures in television comedy. In 1987, The Cosby Show executive producers, Marcy Carsey and Tom Werner, were looking to develop a sitcom that captured the struggles of a working-class family in a raw, unfiltered way. They enlisted Cosby writer Matt Williams to create the script and signed Roseanne Barr to play Roseanne Connor, a blue-collar mother balancing work and family life. Barr, who had built her stand-up career around the domestic goddess persona, was a natural fit for the role. When Roseanne premiered on October 18, 1988, it was an instant success, drawing in 21.4 million households and becoming the highest-rated debut of the season. However, despite the show being built around her comedy and real-life experiences, Barr was stunned to find that Matt Williams was credited as the show's creator. Feeling that her own life had served as the foundation for the series, she was outraged. In an interview with Entertainment Weekly, she explained, "We built the show around my actual life and my kids, the domestic goddess, the whole thing." Producer Tom Werner later countered that the credit was simply standard Writers Guild policy, a reality that Barr never fully accepted. Tensions escalated behind the scenes during the first season, as Barr fought for greater creative control. She clashed with Williams, refusing to deliver certain lines and even walking off set in protest. Eventually, she issued an ultimatum. Either Williams would leave or she would. ABC sided with their star, and Williams was removed after the 13th episode. As Barr gained more influence, she played a key role in shaping the show's voice, even giving future industry heavyweights, Amy Sherman Palladino and Joss Whedon, their first writing jobs. Roseanne ran for 9 seasons from 1988 to 1997, dominating television ratings and redefining the sitcom landscape. Barr's portrayal of Roseanne Connor, a tough, outspoken mother who refused to conform to traditional gender roles, resonated with millions of viewers. Over the course of the series, she won an Emmy, a Golden Globe, a Kids' Choice Award, and 3 American Comedy Awards. Her vision for the show was clear from the beginning. She wanted to portray a strong working-class mother who was not a victim of patriarchal consumerism, bringing a level of realism rarely seen in sitcoms at the time. As the show's success grew, so did Barr's paycheck. By the final 2 seasons, she was earning an unprecedented $40 million, making her the second highest paid woman in the entertainment industry, second only to Oprah Winfrey. Despite her success, Barr found herself at the center of a major controversy. On July 25, 1990, when she performed the Star-Spangled Banner before a baseball game between the San Diego Padres and the Cincinnati Reds at Jack Murphy Stadium. Struggling to hear herself over the stadium's public address system, she sang off-key and loudly, resulting in a jarring, screechy rendition of the anthem. To make matters worse, after finishing the song, she mimicked the gestures of baseball players by spitting and grabbing her crotch in a playful nod to on-field habits. The audience was not amused. Her performance was met with overwhelming boos, and the backlash was swift and severe. Even President George H.W. Bush weighed in, calling her rendition disgraceful. Barr later explained that the Padres had encouraged her to add humor to her performance, but the incident became one of the most infamous moments of her career. Barbara Ehrenreich once described Roseanne Barr as an unfiltered working-class icon, a voice for the often overlooked women who made up what she called the hopeless underclass of the female sex. These were the fast food workers, factory employees, housewives, and pink-collar laborers, women who were overworked, underpaid, and often invisible in mainstream media. Yet Barr didn't just represent these women, she embodied them in a way that was both comedic and politically charged. She tapped into what Ehrenreich called class militant populism, a rare form of social critique that even many progressive politicians struggled to capture. Unlike others who romanticized or sanitized working-class struggles, Barr refused to sugarcoat reality. She also rejected the term blue-collar, believing it masked the deeper issue of class oppression, rather than addressing it head-on. As Roseanne approached its final season, discussions arose about continuing the show in a different format. Barr entered negotiations with Carsey Werner Productions and ABC, hoping to keep her iconic character, Roseanne Connor, on television in a spin-off series. However, talks with ABC as well as CBS and Fox ultimately fell through. With no viable deal in place, Barr and Carsey Werner decided to walk away, ending any possibility of an immediate continuation of the show. Despite the show's conclusion, Barr remained a cultural force, expanding her career beyond television. In 1989, she published her first autobiography, Roseanne, My Life as a Woman, giving readers an intimate look into her journey from working-class obscurity to television stardom. That same year, she transitioned to film with her debut in She-Devil, where she played Ruth, a scorned housewife seeking revenge on her cheating husband. It was a bold choice for a first film, as it wasn't a safe, formulaic comedy, but rather a dark satire on marriage, power, and self-reinvention. Critics recognized the ambition behind the project, with Roger Ebert praising Barr's performance for capturing the raw human emotions of jealousy, pride, and defiance beneath her comedic delivery. Her next venture into film wasn't as well received. In 1991, she voiced Baby Julie in Look Who's Talking To, a sequel to the hit film Look Who's Talking. Unlike She-Devil, this role didn't provide her with much room to showcase her talent, and her performance was panned by critics. She even earned a Golden Raspberry Award nomination for Worst Supporting Actress. However, the setback did little to slow her momentum. Barr remained a staple of pop culture, appearing as a guest host on Saturday Night Live 3 times between 1991 and 1994. In 1992, she co-hosted an episode with her then-husband, Tom Arnold, a frequent collaborator both on and off screen. That same period saw Barr continuing to write. In 1994, she released her second book, My Lives, further detailing her personal experiences, political views, and rise to fame. That year also marked a historic moment in her career when she became the first female comedian to host the MTV Video Music Awards solo. The milestone wouldn't be matched until 2010, when Chelsea Handler took on the role. Barr also kept a presence in television, making guest appearances in popular sitcoms such as Third Rock from the Sun and The Nanny in 1997, reinforcing her status as a household name. In 1998, Barr ventured into live theater, taking on the role of the Wicked Witch of the West in a Wizard of Oz production at Madison Square Garden. It was a dramatic departure from her usual on-screen roles, but it allowed her to tap into a different kind of performance energy. That same year, she moved into the talk show format with The Roseanne Show, which ran for 2 seasons before being canceled in 2000. Her television career continued to evolve, and in 2003, she attempted to merge comedy with cooking. She launched Domestic Goddess, a cooking show, and The Real Roseanne Show, a reality series documenting her experience as a cooking show host. The concept was an interesting blend of her unfiltered humor and a more traditional lifestyle format. However, both projects were abruptly canceled when she underwent a hysterectomy, preventing her from continuing production. In 2004, she returned to film, this time as a voice actress, providing the voice for Maggie, one of the lead characters in Disney's animated feature Home on the Range. This marked yet another shift in her diverse career, proving that even after decades in the entertainment industry, she could still find new ways to reinvent herself. In 2005, after spending years focusing on television, writing, and other creative projects, Roseanne Barr made her highly anticipated return to stand-up comedy. She launched a world tour that brought her back in front of live audiences, a setting where she had originally made her mark. For Barr, stand-up had always been her rawest and most personal form of expression, allowing her to tackle social issues, class struggles, and the absurdities of everyday life with her signature biting humor. Her return to the stage was met with enthusiasm from longtime fans who had followed her career since her early days as a brash working-class comedian, as well as a new generation eager to see her unfiltered comedic style in its purest form. Her comeback gained even more momentum in February 2006 when she expanded her reach internationally, performing live in Europe for the first time. She took the stage at De Montfort Hall as part of the Leicester Comedy Festival in England, introducing her sharp, no-nonsense comedic style to audiences overseas. Around the same time, she also ventured into children's entertainment, an unexpected move for the famously edgy comedian. That month, she released Rockin' with Roseanne, Calling All Kids, a children's DVD that featured lighthearted comedic content aimed at younger audiences. While it was a departure from her usual material, it showcased her ability to adapt her humor to different formats and audiences. Later that year, Barr's return to stand-up reached a new peak with the release of her HBO comedy special, Roseanne Barr, Blonde and Bitchin', which aired in November 2006. The special featured her signature irreverent style, tackling politics, pop culture, and personal experiences with the same fearless approach that had defined her career. 2 nights before the special aired, she made her return to primetime network television with a guest starring role on NBC's My Name is Earl. Playing an eccentric trailer park manager, Barr slipped effortlessly into the role, demonstrating her ability to seamlessly blend scripted comedy with the offbeat blue-collar humor that made her famous. By April 2007, she had stepped into a new hosting role, leading the 3rd season of The Search for the Funniest Mom in America on Nick at Night. The show aimed to discover and celebrate comedic mothers, making it a natural fit for Barr, who had spent much of her career drawing humor from motherhood and working-class family life. Her involvement brought credibility to the competition, as she was one of the most successful female comedians to build a career on relatable, everyday humor. Her return to stand-up continued throughout the following years. In March 2008, she headlined a show at the Sahara Hotel and Casino on the Las Vegas Strip, bringing her act to one of comedy's most iconic venues. Performing in Vegas was a major milestone, reinforcing her status as a top-tier comedian who could still draw crowds and command the stage with her brash and unapologetic style. From 2009 to 2010, Barr expanded her reach beyond the stage and into radio, taking on a new platform to share her perspectives on politics, social issues, and current events. She hosted a politically themed talk show on KPFK, where she engaged in unfiltered discussions about topics ranging from economic inequality to corporate corruption. Her outspokenness, which had always been a defining trait, found a new home on the airwaves. In addition to her solo show, she and her longtime partner Johnny Argent launched The Roseanne and Johnny Show, a weekly program on KCAA in Los Angeles. This show allowed the couple to interact directly with fans while discussing politics, entertainment, and culture from their unique perspectives. Barr also continued making television appearances, proving that her comedic presence remained in demand. On April 15, 2009, she made a memorable appearance on Bravo's second annual A-List Awards, playing a fairy godmother to comedian Kathy Griffin. In the skit, she humorously granted Griffin's wish to be considered an A-list celebrity, blending self-aware satire with her trademark wit. Her stand-up career reached another milestone in February 2010 when she headlined the inaugural Traverse City Comedy Arts Festival. Organized by filmmaker Michael Moore and comedian Jeff Garlin, the festival was an offshoot of the Traverse City Film Festival and was designed to celebrate stand-up as an art form. Barr's participation cemented her reputation as a comedy veteran who could still command a stage with sharp, socially relevant material. That same year, she was featured in I Am Comic, a documentary by Jordan Brady that explored the world of stand-up comedy through the experiences of seasoned comedians. Barr's presence in the film highlighted her deep connection to stand-up, a craft she had never truly abandoned despite her various other ventures. Roseanne Barr's personal life has been as eventful as her career, marked by multiple marriages, motherhood, and a constant search for fulfillment both personally and spiritually. She has been married 3 times and is the mother of 5 children, with her journey into motherhood beginning at a young age. At just 17 years old in 1970, she gave birth to her first child, Brandy Ann Brown. Unable to raise her at the time, Barr made the difficult decision to place her for adoption, a choice that remained a significant moment in her life. However, years later, the two were reunited and developed a relationship, giving Barr a second chance to connect with her firstborn. Barr's first marriage took place on February 4, 1974, when she wed Bill Pentland, a motel clerk she had met while living in Colorado. At the time, Barr was still a struggling comedian, and Pentland supported her ambitions while they built a life together. Their marriage lasted for over 15 years and resulted in 3 children, Jessica, Jennifer, and Jake. Despite their long history and shared responsibilities as parents, their relationship eventually deteriorated, and they filed for divorce, finalizing it on January 16, 1990. Just 4 days after her divorce was finalized, on January 20, 1990, Barr married fellow comedian Tom Arnold, a move that raised eyebrows due to its rapid timing. During their marriage, she took his last name, becoming known as Roseanne Arnold. The pair had first met in 1983 in Minneapolis, where Arnold was working as the opening act for her stand-up performances. Their professional and personal lives became deeply intertwined when, in 1988, Barr brought Arnold onto the writing staff of her groundbreaking sitcom, Roseanne. Their relationship, however, was often described as volatile, with both Barr and Arnold publicly acknowledging their intense arguments and struggles. On April 18, 1994, Barr filed for divorce in Los Angeles Superior Court, citing irreconcilable differences. The couple had tried unsuccessfully to conceive children, adding to the strain on their relationship. Their high-profile split was widely covered by the media, with both making controversial statements about their time together in subsequent years. Less than a year after her divorce from Arnold, Barr found love again. On February 14, 1995, she married Ben Thomas, who had previously worked as her personal security guard. Their wedding was a grand affair, held at Caesars Tahoe, with a star-studded reception at Planet Hollywood. Determined to have another child, Barr underwent in vitro fertilization in late 1994, which resulted in the birth of their son, Buck. For a time, the couple seemed to have built a stable family life, but their marriage ultimately ended in 2002. After 3 marriages, Barr took a different approach to relationships. In 2002, she met Johnny Argent through an unconventional method, online. She had hosted a writing competition on her blog, and through that process, she and Argent connected. Their bond grew through long phone conversations over the course of a year, and in 2003, they officially began dating. Unlike her previous relationships, which were often under intense public scrutiny, her partnership with Argent has been more private and enduring. In 2007, Barr took another major step in reshaping her life, purchasing a 46-acre, 19-hectare macadamia nut farm on the Big Island of Hawaii for $1.78 million. She and Argent settled into a quieter, more self-sufficient lifestyle on the farm, where she has often spoken about the peace and stability she has found in island living. She has embraced the agricultural lifestyle, even sharing insights into farming and sustainability. The shift to a more rural and grounded way of life marked a significant departure from the high-pressure world of Hollywood that had defined much of her career. Beyond her personal relationships and family life, Barr has also delved into spirituality. She has been a student of Kabbalah, studying at the Kabbalah Center, and frequently discussing the principles and philosophies associated with it. She has credited the discipline with helping her find clarity and balance in her life, even as she continues to navigate the challenges of fame, controversy, and reinvention. By the mid-1990s, Roseanne Barr underwent several cosmetic procedures, including a breast reduction, tummy tuck, and nose job. As she navigated the changes in her career and personal life, she also made alterations to her physical appearance. Later, in the late 1990s, she opted for gastric bypass surgery, a procedure that significantly contributed to her weight loss. In 1994, Barr publicly revealed that she had been diagnosed with dissociative identity disorder, formerly known as multiple personality disorder, a condition she attributed to childhood trauma. She spoke openly about having multiple distinct personalities, including Baby, Cindy, Evangelina, Fucker, Heather, Joey, Kevin, Nobody, Somebody, and Susan, in addition to her core identity as Roseanne. The diagnosis and her experiences with the disorder became a major part of her narrative, shedding light on the psychological struggles she had faced for years. After a decade of intensive therapy, she stated in 2001 that her various personalities had largely integrated into one, allowing her to regain a stronger sense of self. In 2015, Barr revealed that she had been diagnosed with both macular degeneration and glaucoma, two progressive eye diseases that threatened her vision. At the time, she believed she was gradually going blind and anticipated that she would eventually lose her sight entirely. To help manage the symptoms, she used medical marijuana to alleviate the intraocular pressure associated with the diseases. However, in a surprising turn, she later learned that she had been misdiagnosed. Instead of macular degeneration and glaucoma, her vision issues were caused by a mole located behind her eye, something that could be treated surgically, offering hope for recovery. In November 2018, reports surfaced claiming that Barr had suffered a heart attack. However, she quickly took to social media to clarify that she was not experiencing any medical emergencies. Roseanne Barr has had one of the most unpredictable and controversial careers in entertainment history. From revolutionizing sitcoms with Roseanne to facing intense scrutiny for her personal and professional choices, her journey has been a roller coaster of triumphs and setbacks. Love her or hate her, there's no denying that she's left an undeniable mark on Hollywood. But what do you think about Roseanne Barr's legacy? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more deep dives into the lives of your favorite stars. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.